We're not here to hurt you. Come and do your due diligence.
The truth is coming.
The military will be here to pick you up the moment we detain you.
When he says the military, he's referring to the private military of the Queen, because she has her own private army of super soldiers, which again are a hybrid of white rappers and Filipino DNA, which have created the strongest race known to man.
Stand down!
By the way, strangeness aside, I'm kind of astounded that the police are they're utterly flabbergasted. One of them is like, "Are you nuts? Why are you calling for citizens arrests? What did you think was going to happen? I'm sorry. Like, the police are brutal. Absolutely brutal. If you walk up to a cop car, you start throwing water at them, and you demand they get out so you can arrest them, most likely they're going to respond way harder than you'd expect. Now, I'm just going to say this. For a very long time, Americans, if you're an American watcher right now, viewer, or something like that, you've had a rough time at it when it comes to far-right extremism. Most likely, people, when they think of far-right extremism, they think of the Proud Boys, the Three Percenters, the Boogaloo Boys, many of the right-wing militias, and yes, one of those was founded by a Canadian, but ultimately, America usually gets a lot of the flack when it comes to far-right extremism, especially with the QAnon movement originating in America and spreading everywhere, including Canada, Germany, all over the world. And the QAnon movement, of course, very, very bizarre, not something that I think anyone thought was going to happen, but it did. You know, the one that says that Donald Trump is the white savior of mankind, who's come here to remove the cabal of cannibalistic pedophiles who propagate the liberal media and Hollywood and all that kind of stuff. It grew. It has a lot of branches. But I have good news. Good news for all of you. You can even have a little bit of this.
Good news, everyone. Good news, everyone.
Because today we're going to be speaking about far-right extremism in Canada and being, in my opinion, some ways even more strange and bizarre than the things that were going on in the good old US of A. So you don't have to feel bad today, Americans. You get to relax, you know? You can put on your thinking caps. You can pour a fine glass of Miller High Life or Courvoisier, or even make a new drink I had heard of, which is called a NASCAR Spritz, where you put a little bit of Aperol Spritz into a Miller High Life to create a delicious sensation, and enjoy yourselves. Sit back and be like, for once, it's not in America. This is not an American story. This is going to be some Canadian ones. So the first thing I want to show y'all is something incredibly, incredibly wild. And this starts out scary and gets very, very funny. But this is a new movement called the DIAGOLON. And I'm going to explain it to you. Diagolon. I might not be pronouncing it correctly. Either way, there's a reporter in Canada who works for Global News. Her name is Rachel Gilmore, who was the target of one of the founders of this movement. And he went as far as to making videos about her. So you'll just see and get a little flavor for what exactly he's espousing.
To the shit that's going on. You're just doing whatever the giant talking head tells you to do. Whatever comes down the Associated Press wire, whatever it is, just say it, just write it, doesn't matter. And when you do, when some of you even attempt to come out like fish face there, right? Hi Rachel, you dumb bitch, you're a fucking joke. Go make a TikTok video about Sprite versus Fanta. You think you're a journalist? Holy shit, give her a Pulitzer. My God, this is the bottom of the fucking barrel. There it is. Hi Rachel, are you in there? Are you in there? Bottom of the barrel, that's where we're at. This is absolutely insane now. And now they're crying about it.
Clean up your room.
Hey, thank you, Mr. 96.
You're just
appreciate it.
doing whatever the giant talking head tells you to do. Whatever comes down the Associated Press wire, whatever it is, just say it.
So this is going to be your first introduction to a new character in the Know Your Fash lexicon. This is the leader of DIAGOLON. Now, what is DIAGOLON, you might be wondering? Yeah, sounds kind of strange. It's a new idea. It's kind of a unique one. I wonder if they have their picture. Here it is. So this is the idea that people are united more on their personal beliefs than they are on their actual national unity, countries, if you will. And he feels that this section specifically of North America unites parts of both Canada and the US into a new movement that runs, as you suspected, in a diagonal. Yes, that's why their flag looks like this. That's what the whole movement's about. Now, the origin and meaning of DIAGOLON. Where did it come from? While conducting a live stream for his fans one evening, a Canadian content creator by the name of Raging Humanist, now Raging Dissent, wanted to do a funny stream for his audience. He consumed several legally purchased marijuana edibles and began sharing his stream of consciousness. Eventually, he deduced that there was a divide occurring between the locations in North America. Specifically, he pointed out that the common values were no longer shared amongst country lines, but more so specific state and provinces. The eastern seaboard and the western coast all shared similar values, where in the southern states, Midwest and Western Canada, and up to Alaska tended to share similar values as well. He on his phone took a basic finger paint app and drew a line to signify this. Thus, the flag of DIAGOLON was born. To date, the concept of DIAGOLON has grown far beyond the joke of a community of people who once felt isolated, but now have each other to lean and share experiences. It always been encouraged for people who feel they are members of the community to display fun little homemade emblems so that these people will find each other in the real world and that they would know they have common interests and would be able to better interact with one another. DIAGOLON, and the flag of DIAGOLON, represents peaceful, fun-loving persons from all over the globe. The community extends all over Europe, Asia, the Pacific, South America, and North America. Diagolonians, or DAGs as they're represented by all sorts of people all over the globe, let us remind you that the isolated actions of a couple individuals do not necessarily represent the interests of the entire leaderless, fun-loving organization. Becoming a part of the community is as simple as longing for a feeling of belonging. It sounds wholesome, sounds friendly and fun. Fortunately, they've been recognized by the Anti-Hate Network of Canada. It's militant accelerationism. Accelerate, accelerate, there's no way out. It's going to become total shit, so let's just get it over with. In its lore, DIAGOLON is a nation running from Alaska to Florida, cutting out a new country, unencumbered by the sinister burdens of communism, moral degeneracy, and world economic forums. The community surrounding the Pleiad Army, sorry, they're wearing Pleiad, a live streamer collective peddling conspiracy theories, anti-Semitism, use their flag as their symbol. Together, the streamers and the audience have grown into an anti-government movement with militant accelerationist overtones. Militant accelerationism is defined as a set of heuristics and tactics designed to put pressure on and exacerbate social divisions through violence, thus hastening societal collapse. Unlike explicit military accelerationism, like the Atomwaffen, the DIAGOLON movement attempts to downplay its inherent acceleration with memes, denial, and humor. And this is Jeremy McKenzie, the person that you've been learning about. There's multiple indicators about them. Leader, chief, proselytizer, and original concept of DIAGOLON, Jeremy McKenzie, who streams under the moniker Raging Dissident, is a plaid-clad live streamer, Afghanistan combat veteran, and founding member of the Populist People's Party of Canada. He's, well, one of the founding members. He drew significant attention after staging a one-man protest with Omar Khadr, a Canadian child soldier who fought Al-Qaeda but was then captured and detained in Guantanamo Bay. DIAGOLON, as it became known, was conceptualized by McKenzie in 2020, tracing regions without mask mandates on a map pointing to sane states and provinces in North America. Then unnamed DIAGOLON country ran southeast from Alaska to Florida, drawing a simple flag on its phone while white lines running in the same direction. The joke came to be and include various outlandish characters. Now, make no mistake, these people are organizing and they're part of the far right in this country. They've also been very deeply intertwined with the Ottawa occupation, as well as that entire movement that was taking, and they also associate with the Canada First Groyper movement, which is the Canadian version of the American First Groyper movement. Yes, we have Canadian Groypers. It's just as sad as you'd expect, and there's all obviously other members. They've done accelerationism. It's a whole bunch of stuff on here. The border plot apparently included individuals who were associated with the DIAGOLON movement, in which multiple individuals were arrested. 11 people were arrested with a whole bunch of weapons that were seized from people connected to the Coutts Alberta blockade. Charges have yet to come down. However, according to the RCMP, the individuals arrested showed a willingness to use force against the police if any attempts were made to disrupt the blockade. So it's a little bit more dangerous than you might expect. However, that's not to say that it's not without its funny. I now would like to introduce all of you to, in my opinion, the cringiest impersonation of Dr. Evil I have ever seen on the internet. And the entire shtick is that he's Dr. Evil and he's basically explaining the evil plot about COVID-19 vax mandates, masks, social distancing. It's real, everybody. Enjoy. With soundtrack.
Wait, go back. Want an explanation? Do you really want to know? Philip, take a seat, please. Everybody sit. I want to talk for a little minute. I've come up with an idea for a pandemic in which we tell everybody that the seasonal flu is actually a very deadly virus from China. Oh, I don't have it, do I? I was coughing, I got scared. I don't have it. Oh no, it's not real. I forgot. During the pandemic, we will make them close businesses, stop working, stay home, stay safe, and be completely dependent upon me, the government. They will need me to survive and could never get rid of me. No, never. I will rule their daily lives. I'll tell them where to go, what to buy. Even they can't see Grandma. It's too dangerous. Once we have destroyed the middle class and the economy
You had to turn the volume down there. I love that part.
have destroyed the middle class and the economy destroyed, then we can usher in phase 2. We will build COVID camps across the country and we will round up everybody that is, calling us out on our bullshit, really. We know. We know this. We'll put them in the camps and we will force them to grow lemon trees for us, which can't be done in our northern climate, simply to frustrate them into oblivion.
I also love how pleased he is with his own sketch.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, the sound cue got fucked up there. Went to the next track.
Anyway. This is my evil plan. Good, right? Pretty good? I thought so. Oh, scary. I can't believe it.
Now, I don't fully understand the elk toy part. I don't know where that one was coming from. I mean, maybe that was supposed to be his, like, Mr. Bigglesworth. I'm not entirely sure.
It's working. It's really amazing. I thought that people would fight back, but no, they didn't do it. I'd put a little bit too much faith in people. Little bit. Dr. Evil? Possibly. Maybe too much? Little more? Little less? Maybe another pandemic? Later, in the winter, we will fake a cyber attack, which will take down the grid. For fuck's sakes, we live in a movie, man. This is retarded. These people are so stupid.
There you have it, everybody. So yeah, that's the asshole who's going after a journalist. The good news is that his war with this journalist going back and forth ended up nuking his Twitter account because, yeah, I mean, he started ushering some pretty, let's just say, indirect threats. Yeah, so that's one thing that's been going on. The next one is far, far wilder. If you're not aware of the Queen of Canada, aka now the Queen of the Universe, she upgraded her title, Romana Didulo, also known as Queen Dildo on the internet. The other day, over the weekend, Queen Dildo and Hail Satan were the two top trending tags for a little while in Canada. And I was like, what does this mean? Why is there Queen Dildo and Hail Satan back to back? So it took a little uncovering to find out what exactly was going on. But we found the Queen. We now know Queen Dildo and the Hail Satan and the origins of both of them. Romana Didulo says that she is the rightful queen of the Dominion of Canada and now the Dominion of the Universe. So sorry, Americans, Europeans, anyone in South and Central America, anyone in Asia, she's technically the queen of you as well. She's the queen of the universe. She has decreed that any single person who gives the vaccine to children has to be assassinated by her team. And even with that, which seems like something that would immediately render someone be arrested in a country or something like that, she's gone even further, and she is now commanding her followers to arrest police officers. They're kind of like sovereign citizens in the sense that they don't feel that they have to fall under any laws of Canada because she is the queen of the universe, so she actually gets to command people in what they do. But she has a lot of very loyal followers. She has like 68,000 followers on Telegram, and she also revealed the other day that she actually has been creating super soldiers. Yes, super soldiers, by combining the Y DNA of white rappers and Filipinos to create the most advanced race known to humanity. So she's created this army of super soldiers that she is going to unleash at the appropriate time. In the interim, they all went down to try and arrest police officers, which I'm sure you can all imagine went about as good as you'd think. Now, while I will show you that, because that is some pretty funny schadenfreude in both directions, I do have to mention, and really big shout out to Karima Rules at CARYMARULS. I'm promoting this because she's getting a lot of hate and death threats in her DMs for being the one person who's been posting videos of this kind of stuff. She attended the counter-protest rallies, and you will see in this video clip how intense things get with the followers of the Queen of the Universe.
So we are here for peace and love. And that is not quite the reception that we're getting, but we're gonna hold fast.
Filming the guy with a sign? Really? Really, dude? Get out of here. Get out. Both of you, get out of here. You're both evil. I can tell. I can sense it. I got vibrations in my body with God, and I know you two don't belong
Then
here.
vibrate that way. Stop
No, why don't
vibrating.
you vibrate out of our moment today?
Don't touch my buddy. You touched him. Oh, you tried to grab him. No, I tried to get him off me. That's your shit. Get out of here. If you're not on this side, get out. I drove far to get here. Get that shit off. I got people injured and dead. I don't want to see it. Get your fucking sign out of here. I don't give a fuck.
Get out of here.
Promote bullshit and death around me, I'll fucking show you it. Yeah, that's peace and prosperity. I took a lot of shit for 2 years. I won't knock them out. I'll let them fucking know.
Yeah, huge what the fuck. They were doing this repeatedly. So this is where the Hail Satan origins come from.
You got vaccinated, but you still wear a they promote the mask.
Hail Satan.
So that's where that hashtag originated. Now, this is how the Queen of the Universe introduces herself. Her favorite song is Rasputin, and so she makes her followers listen to it in its entirety before she will arrive. I'm sorry, what is this? Are they busking at the same time? I can't tell. I don't know if this is for donations or something. Because, like, obviously, she is fleecing them. She's fleecing them for all the monies, of course. Yes, this is real. There is a team of devoted people excited because this is happening right now. They are staring at a speaker. Oh, the song slaps. Oh yeah, it's a great song. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you had to pick one track to be your theme song, I guess, but... It's just like, it's even better that it's not with anything else. It's just like, all right, my entrance is foretold. Bring out the speaker, and now let them stare at the speaker as the song plays. It gets so much sadder, by the way. That's not even the most... well, first on, let's see what the coverage of this was. Plans by followers of leading Canadian QAnon figure Romana Didulo to arrest Peterborough police officers led to an arrest of several of their own on the weekend. Didulo, the self-proclaimed Queen of Canada, arrived in the city in a crowd-funded RV, so they paid for the RV, on Saturday along with a group of 30 individuals. Didulo for months had been calling for the arrest and killing of anyone involved with Canada's rollout of COVID-19 vaccines. Her followers, with 70,000 on Telegram, many staunch anti-vaccine supporters, often deliver cease and desist letters to organizations demanding they end their crimes against humanity. In a message, she asked her followers to meet in Peterborough to detain Peterborough police officers in the Water Street station and wait for the military to arrive and arrest them. Lawyer Carmen Saad, a citizen journalist, posted updates via Twitter throughout the day highlighting what unfolded. The followers, led by the area by Frank Curtin, first gathered at a nearby Confederation Park before marching over to the police station on Water Street, where they attempted to enter the lobby, but they were met with locked doors and no responses from the police, who were using the when they started using the intercom system. So this is them at the door.
Why, you think COVID's real? Do you? Yeah? Well, my boss got $1 million to start making COVID hand sanitizer bottles.
Before it hit.
Yeah, and he knew he was getting it long before COVID. Yeah. Yeah, he wears red high heel shoes down the main street with the elite.
So, how did you think this was going to play out for all of you? You know? Like, what's going to happen if you start drop kicking a hornet's nest on a regular basis? If you're showing up at police stations demanding a citizen's arrest of the fucking police.
You know what red high heel shoes mean? Pedophilia. Yeah, and I caught him. And then I came after your Chief Gilbert. You know, the one you haven't seen in about 8 months, that one? Now you guys talk that you see him all the time. Most of the officers I've asked, except for a couple are honest people. They told me they haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, they are asking nicely. That's
When did you see him last? You guys need to think about what you're doing.
We're not here to hurt you. Come and do your due diligence.
The truth is coming.
The military will be here to pick you up the moment we detain you.
When he says the military, he's referring to the private military of the Queen, because she has her own private army of super soldiers, which again are a hybrid of white rappers and Filipino DNA, which have created the strongest race known to man.
So you need to take some time, think about it. It's like anybody else, you know. Just come to your senses and realize this is not the way to go.
We're only here because we got dead and injured people. We don't see you standing up. Do your job.
Yeah, they felt that one right.
So pretty wild. After hours of standoff, the Canadian QAnon cult's attempt to citizens arrest for the police, COVID crimes ends predictably.
As a weapon. You guys are involved in the COVID crime and we're placing these all under arrest. No.
Hey, oh!
Okay. They were bullying back from those guys. That was bullying.
Hey! I suggest you stand down! Stand down, please! Stand down!
Stand down!
Stand down!
Now, obviously, I'm no fan of the police or the disgusting use of police over authority in a lot of subjects, as well as brutality, all those kind of things. Definitely one of those situations where it's kind of a, what did you think was going to happen? Did you think you were going to be able to throw water at police officers in their cars and demand that they come out so you can arrest them? Do you think that was going to work out the way you thought it was going to?
You guys are under arrest.
Oh yeah, sorry, I should play the rest. Hold on. Let's get a copyright clear version.
Stand down!
Stand down. Keep your hands off of her. I saw that on camera.
Yeah, I saw
stand
that
down.
too. Hey, you guys, off break!
Hand behind your back.
Stand down, please. You're under arrest.
Stand down. You guys
Stand down. Stand down.
Hands behind your back. Frank. Left hand now behind your back.
You police are under arrest. Stand down. You're under arrest.
Any idea the world is awake to this bullshit? And get that off his head like that. You get that shirt off his face.
Hey, right now. Stand down. Stand down. Stand down.
By the way, strangeness aside, I'm kind of astounded that the police are they're utterly flabbergasted. One of them is like, "Are you fucking nuts? Why are you calling for citizens arrests? What did you think was going to happen? I'm sorry. Like, the police are fucking brutal. Absolutely brutal. Like, I guess maybe because all of them are so far right, none of them have actually encountered actual police brutality, the kind of things that happen to minorities, visible minorities in this country all the time, just for the nature of existing, that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you walk up to a cop car, you start throwing water at them, and you demand they get out so you can arrest them, most likely they're going to respond way harder than you'd expect.
Total abuse.
Hey!
You're under arrest too.
Hey! Yo!
I think this is really similar to the January 6th event, where I think like a lot of people, especially those who've lived with like, you know, rather privileged lives their entire existence, they don't understand the reality of the situation, what actual state authority is, what actual police brutality is. You know, when you were seeing all those January 6 people like, why are you hitting us? Why are you spraying us? We're on the same team. What are you doing?
Hey! I suggest
Get lost.
stand down! Stand down! Hey! Yo! You're hurting them! Holy fuck!
And don't get me wrong, this is fucking a very strong excessive power. Like, you should not be dragging human beings along the pavement. You shouldn't be using, you know, multiple knee procedures, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty fucked up. Again though, like, if you were an actual leader, if you were a cult leader, if you were the queen of the universe and you're telling all the people, all your congregation, hey, by the way, you should probably go do this thing, and then it turns out this thing that she's been recommending results in a lot of pain and suffering, I'm hoping a few of these people are going to have that kind of like that image shattered.
Jesus Christ! Where you belong, asshole!
The queen, having seen what was going down and the prophecy not coming as true as she probably originally thought, requested backup from a UFO
So
while
who
this was
saw
taking
that?
place.
Just you? Okay. So those are the special forces, the Allied forces. So we're going to return there. Okay. That's the backup that I've asked for. So
Yeah, she fled.
Triangular craft, military craft showed up,
A triangular military craft showed up
and that's the
as she's
special
fleeing the
forces.
scene.
Right above the Peterborough police station. And
Okay.
many people witnessed the spaceship, or in this
Okay.
case, not a spaceship, but the aircraft
Okay.
showing.
So
we're
you called in
going
the
to
backup?
go back there,
Okay.
and I will flip this camera over. As I said to everyone, to remain calm. And I am here to observe this entire process. I said no violence.
Well, you did ask your
No
followers to arrest
agitating
police
anyone.
officers and also kill anyone who administers the vaccine, so I think you did call for violence pretty specifically. Hopefully the aircraft helped release some of your followers. Yeah. So yes, multiple people eventually were arrested. Which of course made your followers a lot madder. By the way, this is real life. And this is not even the weirdest part of the story, because before all of this went down, the queen from on high wanted to make her subjects know that she loved them. And she wanted to show clemency to her followers, as the queen, of course, and feed them. So this is the queen feeding them veggies and sardines.
We also have sardines, packaged sardines here. Take the plate and pass it around. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alright, there we go. Thank you. And here's the
Thank you.
sardines. Take one and pass it around. Okay? Whoever's hungry. Okay? Just pass it around, guys. There you go.
I love that. Just pass around the sardines. Plenty of sardines to go around. Yeah, don't worry. I got you the finest of sardines. But it's just basically giant cherry tomatoes and cucumbers. That's it. Here's your vegetables and your meat portion. Now this deserves some Rasputin music.
We also have sardines, packaged sardines here. Take the plate and pass it around. There you go. I cut them up myself. Alright, there you go. And here's the sardines. You guys want any? Take one and pass it around. Okay? Whoever's hungry. Okay? Pass it around, guys. There you go. We also have sardines. Take the plate and pass it around.
I love that I got applause too. They're like, oh, thank you, Queen, my Queen. How could you be so generous? Oh, we're eating good tonight. Yeah, pass me a couple of those salty little fish. Yeah, Salvation's a crudité. This is 100% just cucumbers and tomatoes. Not even dip. You don't just. And don't get me wrong, I love cucumbers and tomatoes. So, Her Majesty Queen Romana, Commander-in-Chief of the Kingdom of Canada, the mobile government. This is, by the way, a very nice RV. This RV must have been extremely expensive. It's quite large. She did flee. He did flee the scene. She didn't want to be part of there. She did have the I guess clemency to announce that she did order a UFO filled with a number of super soldiers to help them out, and they don't have to fall under the laws of Canada because her jurisdiction supersedes their own laws, so they won't actually most likely face any charges as long as they follow her orders. Just so you're all aware, this is her statement. Please advise. Comms from Fort Detrick indicate that 4 XR-1001 CRISPR genetically modified super soldiers are being pulled from cold storage and will be deployed within the hour. Formed by crossing Y-DNA of white rappers and Filipinos, we have created the strongest race known to man. Within them is a life force and power never before seen on this plane. May the Lord have mercy on anyone who dares cross them. 2.1 thousand views. Now I'm hoping you got some of that Eminem DNA, not Limp Bizkit, no Fred Durst. You need Eminem's Y DNA, because if you got Fred Durst, it probably wouldn't be as super soldier as you would hope, you know. But you know, if Slim Shady's is in there, you might be all right. That might be a little bit better. So we'll see, you know. Yeah, that'll be great. Eminem and Manny Pacquiao together at last. There you go. Cross them over, you know. Hey, there's a lot of other people we could shout out, you know. One half of Run the Jewels, of course. That would be some pretty potent Y-DNA. So there you have it. It would be more limp than Biscuit. It would be, you know. They could break stuff. That could be it. Anyways, as you probably all know, on the surface, this is absolutely hilarious. It's ridiculous. It's like, when I was watching this all transpire and then seeing it appear on global news and then seeing like the lengths to which people were going to believe it, it's funny. But it's about as funny as QAnon is in the US, because this was, like, she was the biggest QAnoner in Canada, and she evolved QAnon into she's the queen of the country, and now they still follow her. But it's definitely frightening how serious people take this shit. The same thing with Jan 6, like, it's all fun and games. We can all laugh, haha, it's so hilarious. So what, the president of the United States won't actually discount QAnon. He says that apparently they're going after pedophiles, whatever, until Jan 6 happens. And then you're like, well, this shit actually does have real world consequences. It's funny to laugh on the sidelines, but we also have to be able to recognize that these conspiracy theory movements, which are associated directly with the far right, either in the US, Canada, Germany, doesn't matter where they are, they can have real world consequences when people are willing to follow this shit and then enact it in the real world. That's when it stops being absolutely fucking hilarious, you know? That's when it's no longer like, well, it's pretty hilarious that she makes them eat sardines and listen to Rasputin and all that kind of stuff, but then when they're actually, like, you know, getting beaten by the cops for her own, like, and at least she's making them go after, like, institutions of power, state power, like the police. She could just as easily turn them onto schools. She could just as easily turn them onto hospitals. She could just as easily say, hey, by the way, I want you to swarm this ER unit because they're giving people life-saving vaccines, and then might not be as hilarious. Might actually be very, very horrifying because people are willing to do whatever the Queen tells them. So, yeah. Around 4 p.m., when several officers arrived in a vehicle for a Swift, Curtin and the others met with the lot and said they were under arrest. However, it led to the others detaining Curtin and the other man while the crowd yelled in response. A woman is seen attempting to stop the officers. Several videos on social media show 2 men resisting arrest. Eventually, Curtin is physically dragged along by the ground by the police and several officers. Police in a statement on Saturday said the officers were blocked by protesters as they tried to enter a secured entrance. The officers attempted to take a protester into custody when officers were surrounded. Police said the 54-year-old Millbrook, Ontario man was arrested and charged. Another 55-year-old. It sucks that it's really old people who seem to be online too much. In a live video feed to her followers, the Dulo said an aircraft arrived above the police station, which was an Allied Special Forces. She asked her followers to remain calm. I'm here to observe the entire process. I said no violence, no agitating. Third arrest has happened. Counter-protester assaulted. Yeah, these are the videos by, again, Karim Assad, who took some really good footage showing people just straight up trying to be like, hey, by the way, this is fucked up. Police are still looking for suspects, blah, blah, blah. Hi. Just wild stuff. Absolutely wild stuff.
Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form. Available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Juste, we shall spend many a generations building mighty cathedrals in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your oafish jesters, here to offer you a laugh at any opportunity. To our brave knights of the Round Table, Rachel K, Izzy Solidarity, Victoria Bell, Sebastian Demel, Mark Harmon, Benji Arnie, Scary Earth Human, Tony, DM Rivera, Resident Scarecrow, Sir Nickus, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruby Kelly, Brandon, Words Greenwood, Everything Important, Hegbert Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Doug Cady, Daniel Sutton, Jenna Tao, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevbot EXE, Brian Ephraim, Anthropophojak, Catherine, Ramon Acosta, Incosin, Ralph Parler, Violent Orchard, Political Puppy, La Media Panza, Todd Buckingham, and Todd La Jeunesse. We salute our valiant heroes off to fight injustice everywhere.